Good evening, everyone. This is Manjeet Rawat, your online instructor. Welcome back to another class of Veeam backup and replication. In previous class, we talked about how we can install or download Veeam backup replication ISO image from official website, and we also successfully installed Veeam backup and application on VMware workstation using Windows Server 2022 virtual machine. So I hope you guys are on same page, like you already established a setup, because each and every task we are going to perform with practical by using our virtual infrastructure, maybe ESXI, maybe workstation, maybe VirtualBox or hypervisor, whatever method that you have to set up your virtual infrastructure, please try to establish, because the Veeam backup and application is fully based on practical. I'm going to share my screen that I can follow the same like the content that we downloaded from Veeam backup and replication official website. You guys are able to see my screen. In third class, we talked about how we can install Veeam backup and application. We understand about the system requirements and installation procedure. Also, we completed the part like how many steps are required to install our Veeam backup and application. Day 4, guys, and here we are going to talk about VMware vSphere, Hypervisor, ESXi, and vCenter Server. Why these virtualization tools are really important for Veeam backup and application? Because see, you are going to take care of the infrastructure of any client, or you are going to manage any specific project, and you are responsible to protect everything, maybe physical computer, virtual machines, mailing services, file folders, databases, application server. So everything you can control, everything you can protect with the help of Veeam backup and application. So in this class, I'm going to guide you about the concept of VMware vSphere, Hyper-V, ESXi, and vCenter Server, right? VMware vSphere integration with the Veeam backup and application, Hyper-V integration with Veeam backup and application, and also we are going to talk about how we can add our vCenter server, and how vCenter server can help us to take the backup of a number of virtual machines which are running in different ESXi through the Veeam backup and application. Okay. But before that, let me show you how your Veeam backup and application look like, right? Identification of Veeam backup and application. So this is my Windows based machine. I have already installed VMware Workstation, and in VMware Workstation, I'm using Windows Server 2022, and using Windows Server 2022, we recently installed one tool, Veeam backup and application. So this is the first look of our Veeam backup and application. Identification. So let's try to understand the options which are available in this particular page. So when you open or access your Veeam backup and application, it's look like this. If you click on this dot, we are able to find manage credential, manage cloud credential. We are able to see the option where we can manage the password, about the users and role, traffic, network traffic rules. You can configure backup, console, and color and themes. And this is the part of licensing. I'm using evaluated version, means free trial for the testing purpose. That's why it's a type of free trial that I can use to perform all the tasks. But in the production environment, you always purchase license for dedicated version of Veeam backup and application. You need to coordinate, sign up, purchase license key, and apply from this particular option. So you just need to use licenses and need to click on install. It will give you the file of your license. You just need to upload your license, and your application will be applicable according to the license validity. Fine. Instances. So we haven't set up any kind of instances, like any type of integration task we haven't performed. So that's why we are not able to see any kind of instances on this particular page. Okay. Second important option. We are still on the same page. Here we can find a number of GUI method are available. First one is backup job, which is really important. Virtual machine backup, Windows server backup, Linux backup, Mac backup, and file services backup. You can configure with the help of this option. This is replication job. So huge gap between the backup and application, because in case of backup, you are responsible to schedule the backup, right? I decided to take the backup of my Active Directory. I decided for every Friday evening 5 p.m. So this is a kind of schedule. But if we talk about replication, so replication is more advanced than backup, because in replication you are going to create a copy of your each and every task that you are performing on source computer. Same task will be managed in replicate to the another kind of resource that will provide you more security in compare of backup. Okay, so replication job, virtual machines replication, you can establish CDP policy. So under the CDP policy, you can configure the policies related to the backup, import and backup. So any type of backup that you want to import from this particular Veeam backup and application to another version of Veeam backup and application. So you can do that. Okay, and next, uh, this is really important part, which is considered as a backup infrastructure. So under the backup infrastructure, different types of repositories are available, different types of storage you can bind with your Veeam backup, because you know that without repository, without any specific storage location, we are not able to take the backup of any services. So repository is considered as a dedicated storage. It could be on-premises shared storage. It may be your SAN. It may be any kind of cloud platform like Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud, or Microsoft Azure Blob Storage. You can connect with this particular on-premises Veeam backup and application, and store your backup files directly to the Blob Storage, S3 bucket, or Google Storage. Okay. So these all the things we are going to cover properly. We are going to cover these options practically as per the content of Veeam backup and application. But the agenda of this class, let's talk about the virtualization integration. So the meaning of virtualization integration, think about, because most of the organizations are currently using virtual infrastructure. So you should clear about how virtualization can perform the task in the real environment. This is day 4, and here we are going to talk about virtualization integration. So virtualization integration, in the sense, like we already discussed about the backup server. This is our dedicated machine, maybe your laptop or maybe your server computer, where we already installed Veeam backup tool, right? We already installed Veeam backup tool, and number of virtualization we can set up, number of virtual setup we can establish. Like you can install ESXI. We are able to set up Hyper-V, right? And vCenter server. So talk about the use cases of these resources that we have. And the system must be communicated to our Veeam backup. All the devices are in the same network and able to communicate with the Veeam backup. One more point, this is considered as a repository, right? This is our storage, and storage is also considered as a repository. The meaning of repository, it could be a shared storage, or maybe you can also manage a kind of cloud storage. So in cloud storage, you are able to use AWS S3 bucket or Azure blob storage, right? So both are considered as a cloud storage, and you can use these storage to put your data. Now, this is connected to our Veeam backup and application software. Let's talk about ESXI. Number of versions are available in ESXI, basically owned by Vmware or Broadcom. Latest, you can say that owned by Broadcom. And number of virtual machines, yes. With the help of ESXi, we are able to create n number of virtual machines. These virtual machines contain different types of services like web server, maybe application server, maybe SQL or database server that we already configured in these VMs. Our responsibility to protect these virtual machines with the help of our Veeam backup and application. So what you need to do, we need to integrate these two different application-based devices. In case of integration, plug in come into the picture. Yes, plugin, or you can also say that agent come into the picture. With the help of plugin or agent, we are able to make a communication between your Veeam backup application machine to the ESXi to collect, to take the backup of our all the servers or virtual machines that we established in single ESXi host. As it is, Hyper-V is also a type of, you can say that virtualization, where it's a type of hypervisor type 1 that give us option to create virtual machines, VM1, VM2, VM3, and we already decided we are going to protect these virtual machines with the help of Veeam backup software. to take the backup of our virtual machines that we establish in hypervisor, definitely Veeam backup will help us. What do you think about vCenter? vCenter is considered as a backbone for entire virtual infrastructure. If you set up your infrastructure with the help of number of ESXI and you want to control all the ESXI, then vCenter come into the picture. So best part with vCenter server, let's take an example. We are going to create multiple ESXI hosts. ESXi 1, ESXi 2, and ESXi 3. Number of ESXi we established, and all ESXi are directly connected to the vCenter server. Number of virtual machines, yes, we already created a number of VMs in ESXi 1. Multiple virtual machines are running in ESXi 2, in ESXi 3. So, and now no need to connect, no need to integrate your Veeam backup application to all ESXi separately, one by one. No, because these ESXi are directly connected to the vCenter server. So we need to integrate our Veeam backup and application machine directly to the vCenter server. Once you connect your Veeam backup with the vCenter server or integrate with the vCenter server, number of ESXi and virtual machines that contain and managed by the vCenter server, we just need to take the backup. You need to decide the name of ESXi, IP address of ESXi, and also the type of virtual machines that you are going to protect with the help of Veeam backup or application. You just need to select and configure. I'll give you the complete information because the virtual machine that I install, definitely I will install hypervisor in this machine and will create a virtual machine, hypervisor based VM and ESXi based virtual machine. So we'll install one ESXi host. Let's start our journey with ESXi host. Find the ISO image. You can proceed with the ESXi 8.0 because most of clients are currently using ESXi 8.0. Next, and ESXi 8. I want to create in my own virtual machine SSD ESXi. So this is virtual infrastructure, and I'm just going to create for, let's proceed with 70 GB of storage. Make it bridge connection because I want to connect with the base machine. And storage should be 8 GB because we will create multiple virtual machine on this ESXi host. So that's why let me create our virtual machine for ESXi 8.0 based on how much we are going to establish with the minimum 8 GB of RAM. Basic steps required to install ESXi. It's look like this. This is complete bare metal virtualization. The example of bare metal virtualization. You should provide username and password and configure manual IP address, static IP address to access the ESXi in format of GUI. And then once you get the access of GUI, you are able to create a number of virtual machines. So I'll definitely give you the complete information with practical. That's why I'm trying to install one ESXi host. And once our ESXi host will ready to use, we'll create some virtual machine and install operating system, databases, active open services, and then how to take the backup, right? How we can configure the backup for virtual machines for ESXi by using the Veeam backup and application. So guys, this is our agenda, and that we are going to follow everything with practical. You can also set up your infrastructure with the help of VMware Workstation, download the ISO image of ESXi host, vCenter server host, and that you can set up just like as a real-time infrastructure. Because as we discussed before, this is fully practical based playlist, so you need to follow the entire step. So I'll install this ESXi host and also create some virtual machines in ESXi, and after that we'll integrate this ESXi with vCenters. So this is day 4. I hope you guys are okay with the concept of these the work of vSphere, ESXi host, hypervisor, and vCenter server. Cool guys. So stay tuned with Teach Me Cloud. Do subscribe, and we are going to connect soon in next class. Discuss about the practical part of integration of Veeam backup and application with these virtualization infrastructure. Thank you guys. Take care. and bye bye.